All right, everybody, and welcome to Best of NWF's NXT After Show, September 30th, 2015. Now, after a very lackluster and boring Raw, we get back to NXT action, the highlight of the week for wrestling fans the world over. So to start off this episode of NXT, we're going back to the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic. Now the first match is going to be Enzo and Cass versus Joe and Balor. And, of course this is going to be a good match. Of course this is going to be an entertaining match. But one of my biggest problems with the Tag Classic is the idea that an established tag team can be beat by two guys put together. Now, yes, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, they're the top of the top. But Enzo and Cass have not only been a tag team, but a great tag team, while being in NXT. I know they haven't won much, but they're definitely one of the most polished and best tag teams out there today. So it's kind of sad to see them lose. I'm wondering if for the end of this Tag Classic, they're setting up Dawson and Wilder, getting up the big victory, kind of give them a little bit of a rub coming out of that, maybe to feud with the Vaudevillains, because earlier in the Tag Classic, they beat the Vaudevillains, and now they're having their chance to kind of redeem themselves and win the championship. So coming out of this match, Joe and Balor pick up the victory, but there's really not much to say beyond that. It took Muscle Buster into the coup de grace to take out Enzo, but still at the same time, I hate to see an established tag team lose to a mishmash pairing. So after that, we have another Asuka promo. I understand probably the pronunciation of Asuka as Asuka, but with the U in there, I think it's going to confuse the American audience and want to call her Asuka. So that was a nice little promo. It'll be exciting to see her, in her first match next week at NXT TakeOver Respect. So after that, we have Gargano versus Cruz, and Cruz, to me, has been kind of lackluster. He comes in with a lot of hype, but at the same time, he hasn't really shown much of anything. He's there, he has some cool moves, but he just comes out smiling every match, and I think his newness is wearing off fast, and he better do something quick, because he's, going to start hearing some boos here pretty soon if he doesn't change it up. So Cruz picks up the victory out of there. And that match, not much really to speak of. So moving on. After that, we have a backstage segment with William Regal, Dana Brooke, and Emma. William Regal, talks about how rude it was for them to interrupt her debut. They show a little video for Asuka, and they set up a match between Dana Brooke and Asuka at TakeOver Respect. But the whole time I'm thinking to myself is, what about Emma? We know Emma's a better wrestler than Dana Brooke. Now, Dana Brooke may have some upside down the road, but I don't know. Why even have Emma? NXT is where the women's wrestling is at, and you have a great women's wrestler that barely ever wrestles. So it's kind of sad to see her paired with Dana Brooke. I think Dana Brooke should have been paired with another pretty girl. So after that, we have a match with Dana and Emma versus Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. This match, it was okay. It was better definitely than an Eva Marie match if we're going to have a women's match here, but you could definitely see they weren't meshing too well together. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, sometimes they show flashes of brilliance, and then other times they just seem so sloppy. I don't know if it's because they have to telegraph the moves for Dana, but sometimes it just doesn't look too good in there. So you have Dana and Emma picking up the victory there. Nothing too exciting with that match either. After that, we have Jason Jordan and Chad Gable backstage with Dawson and Wilder coming out to confront them. Jason Jordan and Gable, they've really started to mesh well as a tag team. I think they should get some matching jackets and kind of flush out their whole tag team together. Dawson and Wilder, they look great together. Real old school. I really like what they got going for them. After that, we had Ciampa versus Breeze. You know, both these Ciampa versus Breeze and then Gargano versus Cruz, kind of setting up Cruz versus Breeze. I would have much rather had Bull Dempsey versus Tyler Breeze at TakeOver Respect. But I guess Cruz really needs something, which is sad for Tyler Breeze if he's going to go into another one of these events and lose. So, yeah, Breeze picking up the victory there with a new finisher, it looked like. He did not use the beauty shot, so, I mean, good for him. At least he got a victory. After that, we have a big TakeOver recap for Bayley and Sasha Banks. You know, this is definitely the must-see match of the next week's card. Everything else can kind of take it or leave it, but definitely this 30-minute Iron Woman match is something to look forward to. So, other than that, everything on this NXT was kind of a placeholder for next week. And I think after next week's TakeOver Respect, we're really going to start getting into higher gear, going towards a big London show. So they're going to have to build up a lot of good feuds to make that arena really rock. So I'm excited to see next week's, and I'm excited to see the road to NXT TakeOver London after that. So for Best of NWF, this is our NXT After Show, and we are out.